A few weeks ago, we introduced you to Steve. Steve works at the GTN Megabase. He does lots of fancy stuff on a computer. He's also a triathlete. But like many, the last couple of years of COVID restrictions and lockdown derailed his triathlon training and racing plans. He was left demotivated, and in his own words,
I feel like I'm starting from square one again.
This year, he also turned 50, the big 5-0. And over a beer, he rather foolishly proposed that he would like to
Qualify for the Ironman World Champs in Hawaii.
A couple more beers later, the project Hawaii 5-0 was born, and we're here to help him. In this video, we're going to discuss Steve's racing plans, targets, and of course, the all-important training plan with the help of Humango. Oh, and we might have a couple of fitness tests for him. Lucky Steve. Project Hawaii 5-0, let's go.
Steve's goals are lofty. Qualifying for Kona is no mean feat, especially in the 50 to 55 category. He's also on the back of a few years of pandemic-related unfitness, shall we call it. So we're going to start him off with a few fitness tests and see exactly where his fitness is. We'll then use the Humango app to build his training plan that's going to get him to those goals and work it around his incredibly demanding job doing something important behind the scenes at the GTN Megabase, and of course around his family commitments too. So we're putting Steve through his paces to see where his fitness is at, and he's doing his baseline tests for this whole Hawaii 5-0 project. His baseline tests are actually the finish line tests of the Zwift Triathlon Academy. He has done a few of the Zwift Triathlon Academy workouts in his first couple of weeks training, and now he's doing the finish line tests, which we're going to use as his baseline. We're going to carry these on and do them again later on in the program to see where he's at. He's currently doing his run, as you can see. How's it going, Steve?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Not too much talking going on. Keep it up. That's it. Good work.
Put 1K, 15 minutes, pace of 4:53. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest.
Good. We can definitely work with that. All right, now it's time for his bike test. Pretty happy with the run test yesterday. So let's see how fit he is on the bike. He's got about 1 minute before he starts again doing the finish line test for the Zwift Triathlon Academy as his baseline for his project Hawaii 5-0.
I'm pretty happy with that. I was definitely tougher than I thought, but over, getting above 250 watts, I'm kind of pleased with, because it felt like I put some effort in. So yeah, no, happy with that.
Solid 5-minute effort there. We'll do that again a little bit down the line and see how much you can improve that number.
Yeah, I said 15 minutes, I meant 5 minutes, sorry. Felt like 15.
All right, time to sit down with Steve and get some the down low on exactly what we're working with here. So, you've done your tests. Well done on those. Those are baseline tests. We're not really going to use those as threshold tests or prescribe your training based on them, but they are a good little measure of where you currently are, so we can compare them later on. You happy with where you currently are?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't feel incredibly fit, I'll be honest. So it was challenging, but that's what I was expecting.
Okay, so you're not completely unfit, but obviously when you're targeting an Ironman, it's all relative, I guess.
It is indeed, yeah.
Okay.
So no, I feel like there's a good base there.
Okay, so subjectively, you're ready to go on
Yes,
this?
I am.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool, good. That's where we need to be. So let's talk about your goal races. Now, it's Project Hawaii 5-0, as in Kona. So that's obviously the goal race is going to Kona, but you've got to qualify for Kona. So what are you thinking as far as that goes? Are you have any goals in mind, or just whichever Ironman works?
Yeah, I think it would be nice, given my current fitness level, to give myself quite a big runway. So I'm looking at end of summer would be good. That's the rough time frame at the moment.
Okay, yeah. You realise that end of summer for an Ironman means you get one bite at the cherry. Anything goes wrong, you don't have time for another attempt to qualify for this time's Kona. I mean, the cutoff for qualification for Kona is pretty much the middle of August, and that's it. But you're okay with that? I mean,
yeah, high risk.
Yeah, high risk, but high reward potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do our best to get you ready for that by then. So obviously it's going to take a lot of work. You realise that. Maybe you didn't realise that when you were drinking a beer and you signed up for this, but you've definitely had that realisation since. So what are we working around here? Time constraints, job commitments, etc.
So, yeah, I mean, you mentioned job, so obviously that's takes up most of my time. I've got a busy job, and I'll definitely need to manage around that. That's the sort of main bulk of my day, and then in addition, I've got children, wife, kids, dog, DIY projects, all of that other stuff. So there's limited time, but I think with the right program, I can get it in there.
So what kind of time constraints are we talking about then? An hour each day? I mean, I don't need you to have the exact nailed down exactly how many hours and minutes you have every week. We do work a few meters from each other. We can tweak it as we go. If things aren't working, we can change it, and we will change it as we go and make sure it is all working for you. But what are we talking about? An hour a day? 2 hours?
Yeah, I think from what I learned in previous sort of years is that the weekends can be quite difficult because that's my family time. So, early mornings at the weekends, and then, mornings or evenings during the week tend to work better for me.
Okay. Just a question then. Your family does know you've signed up for this, right?
Yeah, I mean, they'll find out, right?
They'll find out when
they missed the first video.
Yeah, okay. You better get your family to buy into this, otherwise the whole video is probably going to end right about now. Okay. As far as your equipment goes, you've done a few triathlons, so you've got some of the equipment. Have you got everything you need?
I think so, yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't have a TT bike just because it suits it's more comfortable for me. But yeah, wetsuit, I've got everything. I could turn up to a race tomorrow and not have, not be lacking something.
As we go through the year, we'll make sure you've got everything you need for your Kona qualifying attempt. But just for now, for me, planning your program, I need to know what you can jump into and get ready for and start training with immediately. And then one more question before I go off and start constructing your program is, you mentioned some injury niggles. What are we talking about right now? Just briefly, Heather is going to do a full MOT on you, but just for my planning purposes for the program.
Knee.
Niggly
knee. And then a bit of potential shoulder problems.
Okay, well, what I will do is we will build that in, make sure that we're not stressing that too much to start with until you've had that MOT with Heather, and we've made sure that there's nothing serious and we can get on top of those injuries. We don't want to obviously start your whole Project Hawaii 5-0 with an injury that we aggravate straight away. So we will be very cautious around those things to start with, but it's good to know where we are starting. Right, well, it's time for me to go and pull up that Humango app and start building Steve's program for the next, what are we talking, 9 months to his qualification race. And then once we're there, we can then focus on Kona, one step at a time. All right, Steve, welcome back. We've brought you into the GTN HQ. I've looked at your program and looked at your season and your goals and what races are available. We're now going to talk through all of those races and then your actual season plan so we can get you going on this program officially. I know you've sort of started already, but get you properly started. I'm going to introduce you to Humango 2, the app that's going to be driving all the behind the scenes and your calendar and everything, so that you have an understanding of that. You will get to learn it pretty quickly. It's pretty easy to use. First, let's talk about the big news we've just found. So we're calling this video Hawaii 5-0 because Steve is 50 and hoping to go to Hawaii, which has just got a big spanner thrown into those works, hasn't it?
It has, just a slight one.
Yeah, Ironman just announced that the men for 2023 will not be racing in Hawaii, so we're going to have to change the name to Nice 5-0 or Lanzarote 5-0, wherever they decide to have the men's. They haven't yet announced where it's going to be. How does he feel about that?
Yeah, we're fine. I mean, as long as it doesn't go past September, then we'll have to change it to 51 as well.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, Nice 51. Or yeah, it is a bit frustrating. I imagine there's quite a few people out there sharing your frustrations here. The big goal, Kona, it's a dream, it's a challenge, everything, and now they've kind of moved the goalposts a little bit. I think the biggest issue for you and for most people is the actual moving the date rather than moving the venue.
Yeah.
You're still doing an Ironman, you're still an Ironman distance. If you're doing it on the second weekend of October, our plan works. We're working towards a goal that qualifies you, and then you've got time to train. But if they move it, 10th of September they're talking about, which is pretty close to your goal race. We'll get to that in a minute. That gets a little bit more complicated. But anyway, for you, it doesn't really matter because our main goal is qualification. Our main goal is that Ironman, that qualifying Ironman, and get you as ready as possible for that. If you do qualify, that's a bonus, and we can talk about that at the time.
Yeah.
So let's crack on with getting you ready for that Ironman. And that Ironman, we need to talk about which one it is. So we've been looking at the calendar and what is available. We're talking July, August, because obviously we're going to give you as much time as possible, but also we want you to actually be able to qualify for this qualification period. There are a fair amount of races. Locally, Ironman UK on the 2nd of July. You mentioned that might be a little bit too soon for you, maybe a little bit too close. It's also quite a tough course.
Yeah.
We've then gone through, there's Ironman Switzerland on the other side of the channel, various other ones available. And then in August, the one we've actually landed on. Any particular reason why you've landed on this particular one, or just because it's fairly local and the right date?
No, I mean, bit of family connection. I can sell it easier to my wife because it's a beautiful part of the world. It's close. Temperature is on my side. It's far enough away.
Yep.
So yeah, three pretty decent reasons.
Okay. Ironman Ireland in Cork then is going to be the main goal for qualification. It is on the 20th of August, and there's plenty of Guinness around too, so there's another reason for him. We are going to target you on that one, but we're not just doing that one, so we're going to have to pick some races in the interim. 70.3 mostly. I've made a bit of a list here of what's available. It's obviously up to you, and we can change them. The local ones, there's this Challenge Wales on the 10th of June, 70.3 Staffordshire on the 11th of June. So those are both half distances that are really well timed, I think, beginning of June for a middle of August Ironman. It's a good test of your nutrition, your pacing, everything like that. It's also an intermediate goal for you to focus on and really keep you focused and motivated. Test your fitness, know where you're at, and then you can refocus for the Ironman, because focusing from now until the Ironman is going to be really difficult.
Yeah.
So we're going to throw those into your thing. What are you thinking? Challenge Wales, 70.3 Staffordshire. There's also in July 70.3 Swansea. You don't have to do one of these big ones either, though. Those are obviously the big ones, the 70.3s and the challenges. There are also a lot of local.
Okay.
Just the benefits of the local ones is a lot less pressure.
Yeah.
It's local. It's less tense. It's less intensity. There's not people trying to qualify for world champs or anything like that. So you can kind of enjoy a little bit more. Would you rather do something like that, or are you talking the real 70.3s?
To be honest, I'm not. If whatever supports the program, I mean, the dates around early June look good.
Yep.
Also the locations. So yeah, I think if it was, I also don't have a unlimited budget. That's an important thing to say.
Yeah.
So if it was a local race, then obviously that's a bit more
Cheaper.
affordable.
Yep.
So yeah, sort of early June looks good.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 70.3 Staffordshire in there on the 11th of June. We can obviously do the 10th of June and the challenge. We'll put Staffordshire in there. I've done that one. It's a pretty good one.
Flat, yeah.
Fairly flat, yeah. It's not hilly. We got to get you ready for a few hills anyway for Ireland.
So we'll put that one in there as an intermediate goal. We can obviously move those. And then we're also going to put a couple of standard distance races. And there's a couple in July and there's a couple in May. There's no pressure at all on those. I know I say that now and you nod and go, yeah, I know, there's no pressure. As you get closer to them, you're going to be like, I've got a race coming up, I'm getting a bit tense. I'm not fit enough and whatever.
I'm already nervous.
That's why we're doing them.
Because
we want those nerves and that anxiety to happen there for those races so that there's less of that for the big races, the ones that matter, your qualification race. Over the next 20 minutes or so, Steve and I went through his whole weekly availability and his program to decide when his rest day was going to be, when his bigger days were going to be, and which days he could do the swims, the bikes, and the runs that were going to make up his program. We started his program and built up the first few weeks of training to get him on track. All right, well, most of the hard work then for myself is done. I have written your program. I'm going to refine it a little bit. I'm going to tinker with it because we've changed a few of your availability since we last spoke, what days you can do what, and obviously we have to take into account how often you can do that run until we've sorted it out. So I'm going to tweak it a little bit, but you can see what it looks like now. Any questions from your side?
No, it looks perfect.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to connect your watch. You've got a Wahoo watch, so you're going to connect that to the Humango app on your phone, and then it'll automatically upload your sessions. I'll be able to see them, and then we can adjust it as we go. I'll be keeping an eye on your training. The easy part is done. The hard part is now yours. You got to get up there and do the training. You've started beginning of December, which means you start your training through the Christmas break, which is really difficult. Good luck with that. Cheers. I'll be there cheering you on and pushing you on. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. We're gonna set Steve free and start getting him ready for that Ironman. Project Hawaii 5-0 starts now. Nice 5-0. Wherever we're going, 5-0. Anyway, Ironman Island project starts now. Good luck, Steve.
Cheers.